Commander Scary Terry was ruled out for this Sunday with a quad hip/groin injury that has been deemed non-surgical. Let's break this down. Terry's believed to have sustained or aggravated the injury on this play. We see Terry at full speed as the defender wraps up his thigh from behind. Here he is driving forward with the hip extended, trunk slightly flexed, and right knee partially bent. As the defender pulls downward and laterally to Terry's right, Terry is lunging towards the goal line, loading that right hip and knee into flexion. It looks like his knee strikes the ground here, but from another angle you can see he actually fires his core and back extensors to extend his trunk as much as possible against gravity and the pull of the defender. This sets up the likely injury moment. The trunk forced into hyperextension during the dive while the lower leg is being rotated by the defender creates a torsional stress with combined eccentric overload or stretch across the pelvis and groin. The area of concern is the front of the pelvis near the pubic bone where multiple tendons and aponeurotic fibers converge. The aponeurosis is a broad flat sheet of fascia that functions like a tendon anchoring muscles to bone or other muscles. The front of the pelvis near the pubic bone is a key site where several of these aponeurotic fibers converge. You can imagine as Terry dives, there's going to be an eccentric load here. Sports hernia occurs at the rectus abdominis adductor longus aponeurotic plate with tearing or attenuation of the inguinal wall fascia, but this is in the absence of sac or bowel protrusion, so it's not a true hernia. By contrast, a true inguinal hernia is a fascial defect in the inguinal canal with fat or bowel bulging, often accentuated or reproduced by valsalva. Lateral to this, attachments like the rectus femoris or quad and hip flexors can also fail at their aponeurotic origins without stretch. These are more broadly classified as core muscle injuries. Lastly, a proximal rectus femoris tear at the pelvis is another form of similar junction injuries. Clinically, these all overlap, causing groin pain with sprinting, cutting, or sit-ups, but imaging distinguishes them. The good news is McLaurin won't require in-season surgery, but he's likely going to need off-season surgery at the end of the football year. There is no high-quality NFL data specifically for non-surgical cases, and most published series focus on surgical repair. However, on average, if the athlete is going to attempt to play, they can return in a week or two with high risk of flare-up or progression leading to in-season surgery. Surgery on average can cost a player 6 to 8 weeks. Wishing Terry a safe and speedy recovery.